everybody. Hello, Lily. How are you today, hon?
I'm fine, John. How are you?
I'm great. Gotta let everybody know. Poor Lily here has a black widow running behind her over there.
Give
So
me
if
just a
anything
second.
strange happens, that's what's going on. She isn't losing it. She just doesn't like black widows. Who does? So I'm going to go ahead and throw up the news while we wait for people to muster on in here.
Okay, I think I'm safe now. I think I'm safe. I had to get
Darn,
my
such a
husband.
short straw.
I
I
had
was
to get
hoping
my husband to come help me.
I was hoping for a wee bit more activity over
No,
there.
John. I just knew if something like touched my leg, that's it. It would.
You're going to have me in
That would
tears
be
in a
it.
second. Oh, boy. All right, let's see where we're at here. Right, we're there. And we will bring us up over here and scroll. Here you go. You see that?
Yep, I can see it. Thank you.
All right. This is news, folks, that I have handpicked, not for any particular reason. It just looked juicy to me. You're looking at the bakery goods, certain things look good. So I threw them up there, not promoting anything. I'm just sharing the news. It's not all of it. And it's like I said, the last couple of days, but there was a ton of it for the last 2 days. So there has been a lot of news. And I got to say, there's no mining news here. There's more mining news than any other news. Mining companies are kicking butt right now. It's just
Yeah.
not my cup of tea. How about you, Letty? Do you ever play any mining companies?
Well, I'm not gonna lie. And this was in the past. I haven't looked at it lately, but I have played AREC. I don't know how many times, AREC. I have played
Aha.
that one so many times. It's a penny stock, and I mean it's been beat down real bad. I want to say the last time I saw it though, it was on an uptrend. But I love little plays like that, and it was a different market then, so I'd have to reanalyze it now. But there's a few. I've always liked MP as well. I think that I can't remember what MP stood for. I just know it's a mining company.
Mega
It's here.
profit?
It's here. Yeah, I hope so. It's here in the States. But MP is another one that I played that was a SPAC initially. And then when it changed its ticker, of course, I'd already taken my profits during the SPAC run up back in the good old days.
Yeah, I normally don't play mining companies, honestly, because I just don't understand what they're saying, what they're doing. The information is just so technical. I don't know if that was bad or good, what I just read. And there's
Exactly.
so much of it now. It's like competition. We look for companies where there's 3, 4, 8, 10 that are strong companies in a sector. But when you get 80 or 100 or 200 companies all competing at the same thing, I don't
Yeah.
know which one's going to be king of the mountain. But as you said, it's not about which one. It's finding one that you get to know and you
Right.
can understand and play it knowing what it's going to do.
That's right. I've done that several times. I'm actually, now that you brought it up, before we get into all the OTC stuff, I'm looking at a mining company right now, the GLDG,
Hmm.
which is a gold mining company. And of course, that means it's a gold play, right?
Right?
We need certain conditions to happen for that, but I'm keeping an eye on it, see if it breaks out or anything like that. Because gold's been beat down a lot.
Well, yeah. And gold is always sooner or later hot.
That's the thing. Our dollar right now is considered strong. I don't know how. Maybe it's because Europe's hurting so
Yeah,
bad.
compared
But
to everybody else,
yeah,
relatively speaking.
so our dollar's strong. So until that dollar's not strong, we're not going to see gold do too much. Might be sideways, might go down a little bit lower. But if we get a reverse effect on that, then I'm definitely got some companies I'm looking at to play. We might be getting there soon. I don't know. We'll see.
So the
Hey, you
OTC
guys.
market has been doing better. Our
Oh
volume
wow,
has
it's
been,
been so crazy. Some of the movements I've seen and the volume has been wonderful too. But gosh, there's been some massive plays here lately. We've had fun this week.
matter of fact, I can bring up let's see how she finished today since
Yeah, let's do that.
we had 14.1 billion yesterday. Oh, really? Oh, well, darn it. God. All right, we didn't break under 10 billion shares. We have been climbing this week. We started
Yeah,
off, I think, 12, went to 13, went to 14. It's been progressive. Our trades are still in the same channel of 250 to 300,000. Whoa. Dollar volume fell even further, 1.4 billion. I normally don't see it get any lower than 1.7. So it
Yeah.
was a little weaker today, obviously.
Well, the ones I was looking at would look pretty good, but maybe today it was just cooling off a little bit. It's been a little hot here lately, John.
Yeah. The other day, I'm going to bring up this stock because this really was exciting yesterday. NUVG did a
Yeah.
maximum of roughly 2,400% jump in one
Wow.
day. I mean, it flew, it ended at about 1,400%. Oh, too bad. But seriously, it was the king. They had
Yeah.
a deal come out yesterday. Pro Music Rights. This is a cannabis company. They've got IP to help cultivators with sensors so they can monitor their grow while they're not there, energy control, lots of stuff, but they're not doing it. They just have the IP, the intellectual
So,
property.
are you
And they
saying they're
were,
getting in the music business now?
well, they got out of the business. They're holding the IP. And as it says here, uh, it's been a takeover. This company
Okay.
has taken over Pro Music, yes. And Pro Music is a
Okay.
very unique company. This is a very unique company because they have millions of artists that they cover, and they get paid royalties every time that song is played anywhere. I don't care if it's a jukebox in a hotel, a bar, in a movie, a disco. If that song is played, somebody is supposed to be paying royalties on that song. You don't have a right to just play anybody's music anytime you want anymore. And
Very
this
true.
company is doing that. And I think they're the fifth.
I
They what? Go ahead.
I did, read up on it a little bit yesterday, was seeing what was happening, and it was something to do with a software or something. I can't remember exactly, but maybe that's how they're doing it. It's because of the IA software. I think it is IA related. I could be getting stuff mixed up, John. Don't quote me.
Now, here's what I found a little more information when I did some digging around, and I just posted some bullets over here at Twitter. On June 28th, Pro Music Rights closes a undisclosed funding. They didn't tell anybody they were doing it, and they did that on the 28th for $5.5 million. That valued them at $422 million. Then it was on the 20th that they did the reverse merger with this company. They had a 1,400% gain, but as I said, it jumped 2,400% with only 8.6 million shares moving. I think this has a float of 13 million, if I remember correctly, which is a nice float.
Severely low.
There it is.
Severely low.
Yeah, 13 million is its float.
Oh, hold up. Do I see billion behind that, or was it million? Okay, it says 148. I thought I saw a B. I was like, hold up. What's he trying to pull here?
No, I don't get excited about a billion shares.
No.
Never do.
No.
So with that small float, only 8.6 million volume moved at 1,400%. Its current price is 30. So I see a lot of potential. This company has wanted to go public. They were going to do an IPO. That was their original thrust, and then made a quick, abrupt turn over here to this company really fast and jumped into it. So just because of what they do, they don't have a lot of competition. I don't know of a lot of companies that do what they do. So I would keep my eye on it, especially with the low float. And, well, did you guys see this chart?
I did. Well, go ahead and pull it up real quick, and we got some questions after that.
Great. I got to come over here and trade screens, so you're going to have to cross your eyes here because it's bloody crazy. I didn't have to do it? Yes, I missed it. Love it. All right, so we are looking at NUVG. Let's back this up. That's on the minute chart. Let's go back 5 days. Well, heck, I'll just make it more apparent. Let's go back 20. She was flat as a pancake.
Just nothing.
I mean, from this low bubble to right there, believe it or not, that's an 80% gain. I mean, it doesn't look like it, but that's relative to that. She took off really quick, hit it fast, fell fast. Although she is right at that Fibonacci 50% point, which is really what my center line is. So she does look strong. I mean, she didn't throw away all of it. So, and when you keep 1,400%, that's not a weakling. Technicals are kind of, mid-grade right now. Half of them are hot and half of them are cold. But everything's just starting. And they put out 3 news presses today that the company's CEO is taking charge. They are now at the helm of the company. So I expect things to get better from here on out. So keep it on your watch list with that small float and that sort of interest. God knows what sort of jump it'll be next time.
That's crazy volume for that, considering where it was.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm going to pull up some of the comments. People are already asking for things, and I
Great.
just don't want to look them over. So
sure. What you got over there? I can't see it, so I have to trust you.
Yeah, JTBK run today again. Huge merger coming.
Jet Black.
$1 billion in assets.
Yeah, I looked at Jet Black today. I looked at it. I think I mentioned it in one of my videos in the last week. I don't think I covered it. It was just one of those extra stocks I've been giving you at the end, ticker and catalyst, and you guys go do your own DD. But she has been, well, just like the last one, she was flat. And then once she started getting activity, it's a roller coaster. But she is working her way up. It's not been a gentle ride, and today was a powerful day, wasn't it? She went from
if there's a huge merger like that coming, I could
16.
See
yeah, why. She's got over 100% gains on a jump here, isn't it? That goes from 17 to 36, and then it fell back. Yeah, so she had over 100% gains. Yeah, I do believe there was news on this today, so let me jump on over to that news for us. I'm going to have to work this out for him. All right. So that was ticker Jet Black, JTBK.
Yep.
Yeah, I think probably in that news, actually, that we were just looking at. Update. Okay. So they had an update, about a week ago, actually. Oh, that's right. I remember this. I pointed it out because of that $1 billion pricing that they threw out there. It says Jet Black would like to provide an update regarding the status of the company. Jet Black is currently in a non-binding due diligence and negotiation phase with the seller, where both parties have up to 45 days to come to terms on a deal with assets totaling over $1 billion. And that's it right there. You got 45 days from the middle of this month. So that's going to take you to the beginning of September 1. So anytime between now and then, something could happen. So anticipation and speculation are going to play on this stock because we don't have facts. All we just got is a huge number, and everyone's going, "Oh, look at the price."
At the end, it could be we changed our minds. You never know. So be ready for anything if you decide to play this one or keep it on your watch list. See,
but the fact your friend. Speculation is a great asset on the OTC market.
Speculation's what I always play on the OTC market. Always.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, this headline will probably do a bigger bounce than the actual report. There's something about knowing all the details. It's like opening up a present. Before you open it, you're really excited. And after you open it, it's nice, but I know everything now. There's no mystery involved.
You don't open the box because you know what it is.
Kind of like getting married. Oh, did I say that?
That's not nice. Well, a Loco had followed up and said JTBK. Oh, he's just saying it's a huge potential merger coming. So it's the same thing. So, and that you're right that is huge news. But that's the thing. Mergers can fall through, stuff like that. And I mean, we've played the OTC for a while, and we kind of, and maybe you have too. I'm sure if you have, what we know is that things fall through, or the company changes, or the company that was merging decided to go with a different company, or they decided to IPO. Anything could change. So, or they could push it back, which will make it drop hard. So just be ready for stuff like that. Instead of getting on the hype bus and just holding on for dear life, you have to plan those types of trades.
Yeah, you've got to remember that OTC traders are traders. They're not long holders. You have long holders out there, but there are a lot of traders taking profits.
Oh
So
yeah.
you're going to see these stocks run on legitimate news and then seemingly crash. That ain't crashing. That's profit taking. That's what they're there for. They're there to watch it, grab as much fruit at the top of the tree and get the heck off of it before it falls. And that's what you need to do. Don't fall in love with the stock. Don't fall in love with the dream. Just take the money. After it falls, get back in. Start to get
That's
to know
what they
that
do.
stock.
If it's still good, they'll get back in too. But I
Absolutely.
just, sometimes you can buy on the way up and then that happens, the profit taking happens, or the
Oh
news
yeah.
wasn't as good as they thought it would be, or it's just a run up. That's it. And then it may even come down below where you bought in. Like you just want to hold it because you're long on it. You really like it, but you might be there a long, long time. So that's why they take the profits, they get back in, they take the profits, they get back in. That's the normal movement of OTC. So I've got another one up here. They're asking about vapor, John.
Oh, vapor, sure. Let's go take
Yeah,
a look
so
at vapor.
Joey Vikes is asking, do you see vapor a buy right now? Do you see it a long-term play? I'm considering getting in, not sure what platform to purchase on. I'm currently on Robinhood Webull, not available on either.
Does Weibo have restrictions on OTC stocks?
I know Webull's offering OTC stocks. My problem is I don't know if they are, I don't think they're offering the
Price
whole
limited?
market. They might have a price limit of what they will list to you. So I'm not sure. I don't have Webull, so I don't know.
Yeah, if anybody has Weibo, you don't know this stuff unless you
It's
have an
kind of
account.
new. Yeah, and it's kind of new. I
And they're
don't know
free,
for
right?
sure.
They don't charge for
As far as
OTC.
another free, and usually any platform that's free for your OTC, they make you wait until it's like 10 cents or higher, or they only give you like 200 really good companies. It's in the QB sector,
Oh,
QX. It's just they're really picky and choosy. The ones that charge you, which is TD Ameritrade, and I think E Trade as well. I know those two charge. You get a
Fidelity, I
hold of
believe, is free, and I
whatever
think they
you
sell
want.
everything.
Fidelity does have some restrictions as well.
Do they?
They have like the top 200 or 300. That's what Fidelity does. And then they charge you the foreign fee as well. And most of them do.
Well, I use TD
fee.
Ameritrade. They sell
Me too.
everything except
They
the
sell
expert market,
everything.
but
Yep.
it is the highest tier price you're going to pay,
And that's why I
except for
use it though.
rate. It's like what, $6.99 a trade.
It's $95. Yeah.
Yeah, so you're paying $14 round trip in and out. So before you get out, you got to make $14 just to
At
break
least.
even,
At
which
least.
can really be frustrating in a bouncy market. That's why I do like penny stocks on the NASDAQ. They're free. I make a mistake, I get out, I can move
I
over.
see the best. The best is saying that he buys with Fidelity. He buys any with Fidelity. So I don't use Fidelity personally because I thought it was limited. But if the best is saying that they're all available there, then I would be very interested because I don't think Fidelity charges like
I don't think they do
TD
either.
Ameritrade and E Trade. I know they have the foreign fee, but all of them I think do that. Well, TD Ameritrade might not, but some of them do. If it's a foreign equity or ADR or something like that, they make you pay $50. And I don't know if that's like a deposit, not just to hold it, and they'll give it back to you. I'm not sure. But
all right, we are looking at vapor. Can you see my chart?
Yeah, let's look at vapor real quick for Joey. Yeah, I can.
All right. So here's your 20-day chart. Again, she's like the last one, totally flat, didn't have anything going. Slowly started working her way up across all the SMAs, just inching. And then she took off a few days ago, and we had a big high here. And that's when we looked at her. We looked at her on this day here. We had another push the next day. She fell pretty much down to her 50. Now, what we've got here is, again, she's of that big surge. She has settled right in the middle. That's very, very common. Up 100, come down halfway, and you find a new plateau. That's what we call a strong stock. If you're in it for a long hold, that's an ideal play. Obviously, you'd like it higher, but that's looking really good. Now, I got into this the other day. I hadn't been in this. You got to remember, I show you a lot of stocks. So if you think I get into every stock I show you, I don't.
No way.
And it's not because I don't believe in them. It's not because I'm BSing anybody. I just don't have that much time to hold 1,000 stocks in my portfolio.
Exactly.
I can't do it.
Wish we could buy them all.
I did get into this one the other day. I drew some lines here. Let me see if I can back this up. Where are we at? I don't know if you can see that very good. All
You see
right.
where it's trending down right there, John? Right where your box is starting. The red bars right there.
I
That's
knew
right
that was going to do
before that's right before it blasted off again. And that happened with the news that Ford was going to supply the motors
Yeah,
for
and I
the
expected
that little
more out
sports
of that
car. Yeah. But that's
because
what
that.
picked it back up right there. I'm really thinking we would have touched our 200.
Well, you got to remember that the car is going to have lots of parts, so they're going to have lots of contracts.
Yeah.
This was them telling us their plans. Here's a great
Yep.
example. We had no facts, no contracts, no nothing. They're serious about it, and we
Yeah.
had a huge run. Now we actually get a big name, Ford, throwing into the pot a fact, and you get a bump, but it doesn't hold and
Yeah, it
it
didn't get
falls
a
away.
higher high or anything like that. So
No, we didn't. So
it's
again, the
trying to hold.
speculation, people thinking the best is what got it. So
That's
I do
right.
expect a lot of bounces out of this. Now, when I got in this was a hard one to get into. I was watching this. The volume was kicking in the morning. Matter of fact, I want to bring this down to the minute. Where did I get in? Right over here. We're going to look at it right there. All right. Right here is where she started. Now, darn it, I need to actually go back just a wee bit, and you're blocking my bar here, aren't you? Yeah, you are.
Sorry.
It's not you. It's this share button they got down at the bottom here.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to zoom in right there. All right, so this is where she was. And I knew she was going to take off. I just knew it. So I looked at this. I would like to show you on the minute, but they're not going to let me. But there was one big bar here. That it was not that. That's a 5-minute bar. So you had a big bar and then 4 small bars after it. Well, I knew this was going to take off, and we cannot buy an OTC stock on market. You can't just throw your hook into the water and grab that boat and get on the ride, which is what you can do on the NASDAQ. You know, you can grab a surger. The OTC, you've got to pick a price, type it in before the stock gets to that price, which means you've got to be ahead of it. And if it's moving fast, you're going to have to throw yourself way out there. Now, 2 things can happen. The price can come in a lot lower and you'll get the best price. Or you can be the guy that pushed it all the way up there, that big, long tag. You'll be the guy
kind of waiting and hoping it's going to keep going.
But I had to do that here. And I saw that it had jumped up a big portion, and I threw on 20% onto the biggest bar. And that put me up to 5.8. And the price was at something like 3.6 the day before. But it was already running pre-market.
Yeah.
Well, I got it at 5.75. That's how fast it moved. I barely got into it. Then I didn't have enough powder, so I shuffled some stuff around and I came in for a second purchase. And I got that one up here. And I was moving as fast as I bloody could to get it. And it was up here. So I ended up with an average down here, which we're just a smidge above that average right now. And I feel comfortable with that price. I would have liked to have gotten it all down here, but things play out the way they play. And I'm confident that the company's going to have pops and growth. But I got to tell you something. This company can only make 5,000 cars a year. That is the legal limit, or else they're going to have to go through all the safety inspections because they get around all the safety inspections. Not that he's going to make the cars unsafe, but he gets to avoid that expense and time consumption. But you can only make 5,000 cars. Now, they're telling us they're going to be affordable. But in the last interview I listened to, he says we're going to make some high-end affordable cars, and then we're going to be making exquisites. So honestly, if you're going to be making 5,000 cars, you better be making them at $100,000, $250,000, $500,000 a piece. That's the only way this company is going to be worth a long hold. Otherwise, you're just going to be riding the bounces on the news.
Until that types of news changes, I agree with you, John. And the thing is, the market might go ahead and price that in, and they might run it up and sell it right back down, and it might hang around this area. So with that type of news, you'd want to take your profits until that changes, you know.
So who we got over here? Let me see.
Yeah, we got a
Thieves
couple more.
won. You know, Thieves, I really appreciate your DD. I read a lot. I see that you are around and you're doing as much work as I am. You should get your own channel, dude. Matter of fact, come on over. You know, folks, we've just made a consolidation with Penny Boys. We had separated tight trading OTC stocks from the major stocks, Penny Boys. We've now brought it over. We've brought OTC and the major stocks. I mean, there's separate categories so that we're not flooded together. But we're all together, so we all see the same information about stocks, talking, trading. and it's all free. So we would love to have you come over there and
Yeah,
just
we moved the whole OTC house over to the Penny Boy server, and probably just to, for more content for our free side, put our analyst people all together. But it's still free, so that's the
well,
beauty of
Top
it.
Sealer Jurgen and Joseph, glad to see you here. Oh, I
Yeah,
see a lot of new
I was going
faces.
to show what Joseph said because to me it's a good point and it is a viewpoint. Joseph has said OTCs are all scams, which is a pretty broad statement. And so, no, they're not all scams. You do have some that are super cheap, like below a penny, and those ones are going to have a lot of stuff to work out. And you're going to hear a lot of news and you're going to hear a
think
lot
of
of
the
hype.
OTC, think of the
Yeah,
OTC as a city. And every city has very nice areas, and every
that's
city
right.
has a ghetto. Every city
Okay.
has a ghetto. And all you got to do is identify the ghetto and don't go into that neighborhood. Yes, it does exist down here. And that's why they have three tiers. Each tier has more
Exactly.
transparency. Pink, you're taking their word for a lot. If you're getting into
That's
long
right.
holds at pinks, you are gambling. There is some gamble there. However, not all pinks are dangerous. A lot of them are doing 10Ks. They have CPAs. Some of them are even penny stock exempt. They don't even have to abide by the rules. So they have
Yeah.
proven themselves as not being startup companies. But go
Well,
up to the
that's
QP or the QX. Those are
yes.
trustworthy companies. Heineken's on the OTC.
That's right.
EasyJet's on the OTC. L'Oreal.
Volkswagen is on the OTC.
Yeah. So,
Rolls Royce is on the OTC. You
but
have
you're
a
right.
lot of companies. Even
There's a lot
Voyager was on the OTC. It's
there's
dropped
a
down a
lot of
little bit.
risk in the OTC, and that's
Yes.
why due diligence is very important. And that's really what my show and what we do here is all about, sharing information.
Well, I think
Good
my
news is
biggest thing.
great. You want to know what good news is, but you want to know the bad news. That's
True.
actually more important. You
I
don't
think
want to
what
get into a stock that just announced a reverse split and you didn't know about it. You want to
true.
hear that news from somebody. So being in a group where everybody's got their nose poking around, you find out and go, man, I was just looking at that stock. I'm glad you brought it up.
Well, I think my biggest point is with OTC because I like playing those. I do visit those sections quite often. I like to see the hype and momentum. That's what I want to play because I want it to be quick. I want to be in and I want to be out within 2 days to 2 weeks. That's as
And
far
the
as I'm
truth of the
usually
matter
going.
is, if you're in for a day trade, it doesn't matter if the company's CEO just got arrested for drunk driving. It doesn't matter if the company's going bankrupt. It doesn't matter if they've abandoned the company and there's nobody there.
That's
If
right. I
you're
make good
playing the
money off that.
trade, the technicals, right?
Yes, it's the hype is what I play. So that means I understand what I'm trading and why I'm trading it and why I have a plan to get out. Take the profits and get out. So you play it differently. But if you have that, OTC can if you know how to do that, it makes you very profitable. And this is one I was looking at, John, that EMEG. Oh my goodness, I was going to call it this morning and
Oh
I
yeah, I
didn't
just
catch
had
it
that
at
up.
open. Yeah, I just saw it. I didn't catch it at open, and I'm going to have to reevaluate it now. I knew open would be a good buying price. Getting in that area.
Yeah, let me
It did pretty well today.
I've lost you. Let me get back to you here.
No, you're fine.
I'm going to get back to that chart because I was going to show that stock off. It had a big bounce on
Oh
the
yeah.
news of the acquisition merger, and then they had a bounce today of it actually happening. Again, the news of it coming was more exciting than the actual happening.
Yes, it was. But do we
But
see
they were both
continuation?
good bounces.
Well, I'm going to be checking into it a little bit further just to see if it's still a future play. But we've been talking about the MG for at least 2 or 3 weeks now because we've had people asking questions about it. We've been looking at that chart for a minute. So maybe
Yeah, it
some
was back here.
were
You had
in
your
it.
first
That would be
bounce.
that would be amazing if y'all were in it. That was definitely good gains today and back
Yeah,
there at this time.
back in March and April, we had some real excitement with the stock. And then it looks like, everything petered out and people thought it was over. And that was just a test
do
run
that.
here because that's her launch. She definitely took off. And again, you've got a stock here that's sitting right in the middle of all of her gains. And that's always a good sign. You don't want to come down more than half of what she threw on the table. If she's going to keep half, then she's negotiating to take more. She doesn't want to throw it away. So this is actually looking good, and it is still transpiring. The companies have just got together. As a matter of fact, I don't even think it's totally finalized yet. I think they're just getting the final icing on it right now. So, this is one of those stocks that's had multiple bounces, multiple attention, and I think it's probably going to have more news presses, and the people that have been following it are going to give it one more good push up, probably. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. I had the wrong. Initially, that was.
We had that one had a good day today. I know it did.
There we go, folks. For some reason, that was Vapor. Gee whiz.
Vapor had a very good. It looked really good on that chart. But EMEG, I mean, it might be moving up to something right now. We've got more stuff coming, I think. So.
Yeah, there's EMGE. We did look at it after its huge bounce right there, giant bounce. But look, it threw it all away, came right back down to its 50, and now is launching again, and it's right underneath its 200 on the 4 hour, which is a pretty good setup. It needs to get on top of that. If we look at the 20-day 1 hour, wow, that was a huge jump. Now we are just coming up. You can see how she fell below that 50.
Yeah,
she had a hard time
hitting its head there. Yeah, it's not holding that.
And it's having a hard time even getting half of what it got the first time. We need to see it get on top of this, about 2.4 cents, right about there. And she'd probably get some more strength. Obviously, she likes to jump on news presses. But again, this was about what was going to come. And this is, it's here. So
and
you can see
like, okay, take my money and run.
That's why we say, don't fall in love with these stocks. They may have some great future. They really may be good long holds, but not right now. Right now, the market is bouncing too hard. You want to take the gains when you see them. You can see they don't stick around. Every time they come up, they fall away. So why hope for tomorrow to give you more? Take what you can get today. If you leave a little bit on the table, guess what? You're walking away with money in your pocket. You can live with it.
You can replay those. Don't worry about that. And if the company is a good long hold, it will prove it to you and the rest of the market over time. So you're okay. You have time. But nothing. All right, I want to
show you another stock here that we've talked about. And I think Lily has some thoughts about this stock too, don't you, Lily?
I do. I mean, I look at it like the rest of them. And don't get me wrong, it could all work out. I think the best thing that could happen for Voyager, if they're really having trouble and issues, is a buyout. Because they still have stuff going on. They still have assets. They still have people using their platforms. And I don't think crypto's going anywhere. However, I think it's going to be a little rocky right now because...
Now, for those of you who don't know, Voyager runs a crypto trading platform. They've got Coinify and Voyager, and they're in multiple countries, and they're all listed as separate subsidiaries.
They are, but your money's locked up right now. This, it's just a little... Until they get this worked out and say, hey, we're restructuring, this is what we're going to do, I'm just playing it as a trade.
Well, it is a trade, but I'm looking at it personally as a long hold. Revlon, Hertz is right back to $18. I saw it come way down under $1.
Oh, yes, it did. I played that.
Right. This was at $20. Right here, folks, is why I'm excited about it. They have $6 billion in assets. Now, somebody just stole $700 million of crypto money from them. But this is where the assets come from. First off, there's all their subsidiaries. All of those are subsidiaries, and these are all still online. They're still trading. The crypto's still being bought and sold, but they actually hold crypto right there. This is the coins they hold. As of June of this year, 25,000 Bitcoin. Well, you figure that out. That's over $1 billion. They have all these coins, so that just the coins themselves, they have 3.4 billion. They loan coins. They stake coins. They buy and sell coins.
Loaned out. Who knows?
So, they have, like anybody, deadbeats that don't pay. You've got that with every business out there. And I can't imagine $700 off of $6 billion broke their back. I think there's something else going on, and I think it's going to get fixed.
There is. But let's talk about, I don't know about companies and bankruptcy and what all goes into that, John, but let's think about this real quick. If me or you go bankrupt, we aren't going to do it with money assets behind us. It's not allowed. So
Exactly.
they sit there and
Exactly.
say, okay, well, you have access to 100K, but you're wanting to go bankrupt. So let's take this 100K, or you sell these things. Let's divide all this money up and let's pay off these debts. If you're still in the spot where you need to be bankrupt, okay, then we'll go ahead and bankrupt your house. We'll bankrupt your car.
Yeah, but you
But
got to
that's it.
understand that none of
It's just
these companies
weird.
that file bankruptcy want to go bankrupt. They're
That's what I
just
can't
trying to get out of
understand.
hot water, and it's the only
Yeah.
highway out of whatever situation, big companies have.
It
So
just
I don't
makes,
expect that this company wants to stop doing business.
I
This
know,
is
but
just
if I had access to 6 billion, I would totally be like, let's go ahead and fix this. Let's go ahead and resolve this
I
and be
think
done with it. I don't need this kind of
so that's my
pressure.
bottom line. With $6 billion, you don't go nowhere. You can buy yourself out of most problems. So I
I
think the
agree.
company at 18 cents when it was let's take a look at that chart. Oh, did it just go black on you?
Yeah, I can't see it.
We're good. I mean, but
So
you
I
can
mean,
see it.
I think like I think it's worth the company. And I know it went to $20 or whatever. I do think this company's worth every bit of 90 cents to $1.10 share value to hold, like to stay at that area. It is.
Oh, I got
It
to remember
held like
right.
I
This
think it would have held that if the bankruptcy news and the whole you can't get your assets, you can't get your money didn't come out. I don't think we would have fell this far. But I think there was just a lot of issues there.
so they were at $20 back here at November. November is when they started to fall, started having some problems, and they're down to 22 cents. You go look at Hertz, same thing. They were up at
It
$18,
was
fell
ugly.
down to pennies on the dollar, and now they're right back up to $18. It did take about 2 years. It did take some time, but look at Revlon. Her Q's already gone. She's already restructured and she's going up.
Yeah.
There's chapter 11s, there's chapter 13s, chapter 7s. There's lots of
True.
different bankruptcies for different fixes. So my thing is, with that much money already in the bank and crypto being so low, I mean, what if Bitcoin goes up to 50,000 again? What's their net assets then?
I'm not I like these companies in some ways are shady, right? They do some shady things. So maybe the reason why they went this bankruptcy route, because that did happen to them, but maybe they took this route because they're not allowing people to pull their crypto or get their money out. And they were doing that before the bankruptcy stuff hit. And they're not the only one. So maybe this makes it a little bit easier to say, hey, look, our hands are tied. We're in bankruptcy. We can't everything has to stay like it is. And maybe they're just waiting for the market to get a little bit better. Who knows, John? I don't know. It doesn't give me the warm and fuzzies. But I don't think you're at a huge risk in this area. I don't think the company's going to go anywhere. So yeah, if you like it, start legging into it. Absolutely.
We got another bankruptcy coming.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, let me see here. My pages are jumping around. Where did that go, for
I think
goodness
Bess
sake?
is asking if Rev finished their bankruptcy. I think they did.
Yeah,
I
well, the
think
queue is gone. If you
they
go over the
they've done their restructuring and stuff. So I think they're back on. Did they ever
well,
drop to
let's
the
just check real
OTC? They
quick.
didn't, did they?
Rev, I don't know how much information they show over here on the OTC. It would
Yeah,
actually say bankrupt.
it's on the Nasdaq. Okay, okay.
Let's see. We were going to take a look at. Oh, I wanted to show you the new bankruptcy coming. It isn't here yet. It is
Yeah,
coming.
which one?
This is Tuesday morning.
Are
Tuesday
you
morning
kidding
came out.
me? They've been trying to bankrupt for years now. They haven't already done this.
Well, it came out today. As a matter of fact,
Oh,
here's some information about it. Shares Tuesday morning of 2M fell nearly 30% after reports the retailer is on the brink of bankruptcy. When did you hear about this?
oh my gosh, John! I've been waiting for them to go bankrupt 2 years now. Huh?
Yeah, it
Like
does
I
say here a restructuring would be the second such reorganization in the past
see.
2 years following the fourth quarter
Yep.
2020 bankruptcy.
And I tell you what, that fourth quarter 2020 bankruptcy didn't do nothing.
No?
Because back then, the Hertz and all that stuff, they were just run, looking coffee, all of them. They just ran and ran. So I'm like, okay, I get Tuesday morning. Maybe it's because I bought it. I don't know. Maybe I didn't wait long enough, but it was not what you were expecting, especially at that time. So
Right.
maybe it'll be better this time. I don't know.
Yeah, well,
People didn't seem excited about Tuesday morning.
This was a surprise today. Gegger, Gegr.
Yeah,
I've covered this a couple times.
it was doing
This is,
good.
and you were with me, Lily. We've talked
Yeah.
about this before about the
Oh
guy who
yeah.
keeps getting all these Italian businesses that are
Yeah.
30 years old and he gets 40%. Well,
Yep.
he just keeps doing it. I mean, look at every single one of these newses are acquisitions,
There
coffee
it is.
houses. This guy's building ships, he's building restaurants. I don't know what he's doing. He's got TV stations,
He's into
he's got
everything.
pipe fitting companies, he's got everything, and they're
But
established companies.
the formula works, it looks like. So
Yeah,
he's
and now
doing
he's
it.
just bought a yacht service company. So,
Sweet. I'm
so
gonna reach out.
this guy, and this is the thing, he's a holdings company, but unlike most of the holding companies on the OTC, he's not looking for startups. He's not looking for an incubator. He doesn't want to put money into anything. He just wants to plug in and start pulling some of their money out. And he's
Yeah.
doing it. Every one of these companies, he's got at least 40% of, if not
Yeah,
more.
he's getting a piece of the pie, every one of them.
What are let's check his financials. Let's see what he's got over here. Well, he was doing nothing. Then he was doing $77 million. We got 3 zeros up there. And quarterly, last quarter he did 12 million. Cost him half of that. He got to keep 6 million. So things are getting going. I know when I looked at these companies, the companies that he's got, they're
Yeah.
making good money, but they are
What's their-
all local
Sorry.
private companies. No, go for it, hon. You got to
I
interrupt
was
me.
wondering what their share structure was.
Share structure. Good question. 249,000 outstanding. We'll just do a real quick search here.
So the float's
yeah,
85 million, is it?
Man, I hate this. There you go. All right. GEGR. Let's just do a, we're done with you. Google.
Yeah,
GEGR's
just curious.
float. I hate to
Not-
use Google because you've got to find more than one site telling you. You just
I know.
can't trust the first one you look at.
I know.
Um,
I mean, I saw 85 million on the float right there on the OTC markets, but
yeah, well, what you were looking at, I never trust. Right here.
gotcha. Okay.
Now that's close. That's March. I mean, normally these are months, if not years, out of date.
I see.
And this, rarely, I catch it maybe 1 out of 20 times it's right. We would be lucky if it was 85. I'm not seeing anything over here. Normally you can just go right down here and it'll just throw it up.
Yeah,
Not
just tell you.
throw it up.
Just tell you in a little screenshot, a little snippet, like that's what you can find it there and then you verify it, but I hadn't seen anything. So I was just wondering because just trying to do the evaluation, market cap, stuff like that.
Another one that started to run today was OWUD.
Oh, yeah. That was a good one.
One World Universe was hot when all the metaverse companies were hot because everybody was talking metaverse. You couldn't talk about an NFT without putting the word metaverse in your news a half a dozen times. But now nobody is talking the metaverse. It is not a buzzword. It's not even an interest. So these stocks have been falling hard.
Yeah.
And this company came out and they had 2 pieces of news here. But the news that came out today, they're telling us how much they're going to make, and they got a third party to do this. So they're numbers that we should be able to trust. And they tell us they're going to be doing revenues up to 150 million and expect to see greater increase the first quarter of 2023, which infers that they're talking the quarter coming up. The quarter coming up, they're going from, what are their financials now? Nothing. I can't see anything here, but everywhere I've looked, I've not seen any money. So it looks like they're actually doing nothing and are going to jump from zip to 150 million. That's what people are excited about. Their company's finally got some value to it.
Well,
so
did they say it was the third quarter of 2023?
They said actually the first quarter of 2023, they expect more.
Okay.
Let me see here. Right there. We can expect to see quarterly revenues up to 150 million and expect to see greater increase in the first quarter of 2023.
There we go. Okay. Thank you.
So the inferment is that money's right around the corner in the next few months.
Well, that's why I'm going to keep an eye on it. I'm just going to wait for it to kind of die down, cool off, get quiet. We'll look at it then. Right. They had a great day.
DRCR made a move. They finally got their Swifty app launched in the United Kingdom, which is where they got their gambling license. You got to have both. If you got your app online, you need the license. If you got your license, you better get your app online. So they've had their license, and we've been waiting for the app, and boom, today they got their app and the license. Now, I'm presuming that means they're ready to go, that they can. This is the one I told you about, you said was dangerous.
Yeah.
Tinder one.
We talked about Swifty.
This is going to be hot because it works on impulse bets, and gamblers have a lot of impulses.
Well, yeah, I really liked it because of that. So, I mean, I don't know. I think it's got potential, but then again, it's the OTCs. We'll see.
Well, they're working on, being in each state as they become legal in America. They are going in other countries, but they had to start somewhere. And the Croco license actually gives them footing in many countries. But UK is one of the strongest gambling companies out there. We've got quite a few companies, big gambling companies over there. So they did take another jump today, and now it looks like they may be going into the gambling income. And I tell you what, I would love to be a part of a gambling company because that is money all the time, even during hard times, even during recession.
Oh, yeah, they still do it. Yep.
Sorry to say, people still spend their money on gambling.
They sure will. They'll look at it like, I have $5. I'm placing penny bets, and $5 barely buys milk. I can't buy milk, bread, and eggs, so I might as well spend it here. And then I'll get $15, and I can afford the milk, bread, and eggs. And
well, I understand it. It can be a tool. I've mentioned this before. I was a scout,
but it's also a vice.
Right. I use it as a tool. I would go into one of the gambling houses in my town on High Street. Every town has a High Street. And I would gamble $20 or $10. That was my limit. And I was trying to earn money to buy cigarettes for the week. And as soon as I doubled my money, I was out of there. I walked away. And I'll tell you what.
Though. You had a plan.
Yeah. And that's what we need trading stocks as a plan. Now, last night I fell asleep thinking, most traders, if you ask them on the OTC, so how much money you want to make today? What do you think their answer would be?
Millions.
What do you think most
always would say? A lot. What's that?
Right. As much as I can. To the moon. Well, that's a hard plan. That's hard. How do you know when you hit your goal? How do you put it on your balance sheet? This is what I want to know.
You don't, because you keep moving the moon.
So
if you think about it, you
actually have a plan of, say, just $100 a day. Just make $100 a day. You feel progress in the day. You know you're getting closer to your goal. You know when your exit is. And if you do that, I will bet you have more money at the end of the month than if you go with the plan of, I'm going to make as much as I possibly can every day.
I can. Exactly.
Try it.
That's a good point. That is a good point. And you're right. Whenever somebody, let's say you are like in one of these that popped off today, when you think, oh, wow, it's really going, it's my home run, it's to the moon, right? The thing is when it gets up there, you start moving the moon. Every time you'll move it. So you're like, well, a little bit more. And it usually ends up costing you. Don't do that to yourself. If you're planning a base hit and you happen to get a home run, take it.
That's it. If you keep in the game over and over and have a plan, you're going to have things fall into your lap. Now, I'm not saying throw away a surge, but don't stick around looking for the ceiling. You have no idea where that is, but you know where $100 bill is. You know where $150 is. You have to find an exit and put a pin in it. Put a pin in it and do it. You know what? You may watch some money go by, but you're going to feel good because you actually have money in your pocket and you followed your plan. That's called success. And that builds on your ego. Every little success helps you feel better about yourself. And every loss makes you feel, it can really tear down your self-esteem.
Oh, it'll mess you up.
It
really
will.
will. And you'll have trouble executing your plans. And if you
instead of trying to make the most, instead of trying to be Babe Ruth, just be the guy that gets on first base. Everybody loves a man that gets on first base because you can work with that. You can plan around it. Yeah. And let me tell you what, you start off with $100, 3 weeks down the road, you got yourself $1,500. You can then say $150 a day. you know, you work up in a different pattern. But I'm just trying to get away from that, going into areas that are high risk. The invisible ceiling is a high risk area. Don't try to get the most. You actually lose more that way than you gain. Do you agree with that, Lily, or am I making?
No, I absolutely do. You got to have a plan
Okay.
because consistency is the key. That's how you grow your portfolio.
Hello, Sand Tribe. I know you're late. You probably had a job. I've never really been crazy about starting this at 4 o'clock because, well, you got to let the dog out. You got to go
Yeah.
take care of business. But that's why we record it. So I appreciate you, better late than never.
Well,
Thanks,
it's
pal.
nice. It's nice to talk about the markets as soon as it closes. And y'all, we're going to be wrapping this up soon. So if you have any more questions or anything you want us to look at, now's definitely the time. I
Yeah,
know
just
we're
with
moving, John, and we're going to be in the Penny Boys Discord. It's still free.
let's tell them a little bit about this, what Penny Boys is, what it is. We are a Discord group. Don't be
Sure,
afraid of it. There are some bad Discord groups, like bad OTC companies, but there's
that's
some
true.
great ones out there. And we're one of the great ones. And I'm not biased. I went there because they were different than all the other Discords I was in. They really care. I mean, I've never
Yeah,
honestly seen people care so much. You come to them. It's an open door policy with these people. We all want to work with each other. It's not a competition, it's a
we
community.
we do work with each other. That's what makes it so wonderful. And the community is really good too. But it's the same thing with me. When I found them, I was in other discords before, and I watched them implode. And I haven't found one like this. This one is they want to teach you. They
Yeah,
truly
we
want to
have
teach you.
training, we have
Yeah,
alerts, open chat, just typing. We also have audio chat. We have
yeah,
lots of streaming events, audio streaming, where somebody will teach us live trading. It'll be going on. We can learn charting. That is excellent, folks. I learn a lot from these people. These are professional traders over here. These people have skills. Each one has got a honed skill. There is so much to be learned just by being in the neighborhood. And we have premium programs. Most of it is free, folks. You want to
but we
go to
do free
premium?
live streams all the time.
Yeah. If you want premium, we're not going to force you into it.
Uh,
That's up to you. But jump into the water with us and see what we're about. Start learning the free
the
stuff we're just sharing with each other.
The best said he tried signing up, but it doesn't seem to work for him. Now, I have seen you in our Titan server. I'm so glad you're there with us. We appreciate that. And the interaction. I just love being able to find these plays together. So, what I'll do the best, I will message you after this and we'll discuss it. We'll get you some
The
help.
the name is Thebes One.
Thieves.
Thebes.
Oh, I would read it the best. I was wanting to say best with a T, but I thought he substituted it with
I
a
thought it
one.
was the best one. I said, "Oh, what a
Thieves.
very ingenious way of
I
writing the
am
best
so
one."
sorry.
No, I did the same thing. He had to pull me aside and psst, it's pronounced like this.
I'm
And
so
it's like,
sorry.
thanks, dude.
Thieves. I like it.
Live and
But
learn. We can
yeah,
all teach each other.
I'll message you. But before we leave John Sandtribe, since
ZY.
he got here a little late, yeah, he wants to look at ZY, and we can definitely look at that before we go.
Absolutely. I appreciate that. Where are we looking
Do
at
it.
here? All right, I got to grab you back up. All right. And there you are. It hides on me. All right, so we're looking at ZY. I'm not
ZY.
familiar with this stock, I don't believe. ZY. Is this a NASDAQ stock with two tickers? NASDAQ,
What's the
$2.16, 47% gains today. We had news a week ago. Is that right?
what's the name of the company? Oh, I don't know that.
Zimmergen Inc. It looks
Oh,
like, let's see what they do. It looks like an oil company. They're not going to tell us. News. Boro Drilling among energy material gainers. Gato Silver, Fluence Energy among losers. Zimmergen expands agreement with Octant Scale next generation drug discovery platform. Well, they're not into oil, not if they're into drug discovery. That was back on the 14th, 1 week ago. Today, the company announced their next generation platform developed breakthrough medicines 5 reconfigurable automation carts, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so they're into medications. This is, like I said, a week old. Any new filings? No, we got nothing new
Nothing
going on.
recently.
Let's check out their share structure while we're here. Well, they never give us all the information on these major exchange, but it's going to be under 100 million, whatever it is. And let's take a look at that chart. It's probably what he's most interested in.
Yeah, let's see the chart. Let's see what's happening.
Let's see what's happening. Don't go hiding on me, chart. I know you're there. There you is. Oh, jumped on me. There we go. All right, so we are looking at ZY. I can't get that ticker confused. I could, but duh.
That's a beautiful uptrend.
Ooh, look at that bad boy. Wow.
Did you say it was oil?
No, drug.
Oil?
Drug.
Oh, okay. Okay.
They're in medication. No, they had news there about oil companies, but no, they have a platform that creates new medications. Now, maybe this is, there's more DD needed, but that's how they came up with the COVID inoculation. It was created by AI. It wasn't created by people. So that's what they've got. It looks like some platform helps them make medicines. And out of the last 20 days, it looks like 15 of them, they've been running. Do-do-do-do-do, straight up. Got close to the 50 one day here. Let's take a back look for a year. So she is just now starting to push up. She's been running downhill all year. Boy, she had a serious fall there. Maybe a phase trial or something. I don't know. But right now, she is actually starting to churn up very steadily. We are in the overbought, and all the other technicals are pushing up. On our 4-hour, she's just crossed the 200. Everything is beautiful. I really like this one. I may have to look at this one. 1 hour.
Look a little bit closer for sure.
Yeah, she has got some very steady growth. Obviously, the news has been enough to keep this stock going. I don't see a whole lot of volume down here. I mean, it's nothing terrific. Let's see here.
Can barely see it though.
Yeah, I'm looking at the volume. This bar here is 125,000.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. You've probably got a few million there, right? But it looks like it's going to keep going. I mean, I don't see anything pulling it back. They've got fresh news out about new things they're doing that are very technologically advanced. The chart looks like it's steady growing. I'm going to look at it. Are you, Lily?
Yeah, I'll look at it a little bit more. I also like our health sectors if the market does decide to turn.
Yeah.
Because right now we're really heading up and everything. And that could be why we're seeing this one tick up a little bit because they're expecting a turn. I don't know yet. We'll find out probably after next week. But yeah, I'm going to look at it a little bit more because I don't know any information. I don't know their financials. I don't know their products. I don't know where they had SPAC at one time. I have no idea. So
this doesn't look like a runner. It's just steady growing.
Steady. I like that.
Wrong with that. Oh, yeah. For a new trader, I always tell them, look for a stock that's been consistently growing without a lot of volatility over a few weeks. Because you're itching to do a trade, but you don't know what to do. Well, put some of your money where it's steady growing while you're learning. Don't just jump into anything. Look for something that'll give you a dividend while you're learning, right? Look at that. She's still growing after market. Took a big surge after market. So I like this stocks for technicals. As you said, I don't know anything about the company or the products, but
the chart's beautiful.
Yeah, got my attention for sure.
It's beautiful. Yeah, that's a good one. We're going to look into it for sure. All right. I think that pretty much wraps it up. We don't have any more questions.
Snookaroo. Hello, buddy.
Did say something about hoping everyone got in the non-gas trades or the nat gas trades. Yesterday, it was real good. I'll put it on the screen for you real quick.
Yeah, I can see it now. I've jumped over here too. No, I'm going to have to follow up on that. Natural gas, there's so much to look at. You can only see so much. And I didn't see any of that on the top of the charts. Funny, we didn't get around to looking at the OTC top of the charts, but
I want to say some of the smaller caps in NASDAQ we played. I know on the Penny Boy side. I can't remember if it was HGen. I think that's one of them. I didn't play them, but I know they were playing them. So, yeah, they're all over it.
Well, I know natural gas has to be going up because I keep paying more and more for it every time they come out and fill out my tank.
Yes.
It's like, what? I think it's like 3 times as much as last year.
Yes, it hurts. So,
Been a hurt.
inflation is still a factor. Everything like that's still a factor, still in play. It sounds like the Fed's going to pivot next week, you guys. Like they're trying to be more dovish, and it's only going to be 75 points. Da, da, da. And if that's the case, I think that's baked in. So your bigger markets, your NASDAQ and stuff, I think we're going to see it go higher if that's the case.
It's
If
been
not-
surprising me. It's been channeling up actually for
Yeah.
a while, even in a bear market.
That's right. And I think we'll break out of that trend. And nothing else, the summer rally kind of thing is going to begin. Well, it's already beginning. But if the market moves too high, because we're really on a tear right now, if it moves too high, then I look for the Fed to possibly raise it 1 whole point, 100 points, or 1%. And the market's not expecting that. And that would give the Fed the cushion they need to do that. So we'll see. I don't know. But just to be aware, I think it's next Wednesday. I just wanted to mention that to y'all. It's next Wednesday. Just be aware of that and manage your trades accordingly.
And not that I think it's probably going to go anywhere, but it will affect the markets. Cannabis stocks right now are bumping and jumping because that's right. It's up there on the hill. But do you know where they shoved it this time? Into the criminal terrorist bill. That's where they shoved it. Last time was put into the stimulus bill. The time before. I think this is 8 times that the House of Congress will probably pass
8 or 9.
Senate hasn't voted on it yet. Not one time. Won't even bring it to the floor. But that has nothing to do with hope and speculation. There's lots of people that believe this is it. They're going to legalize it this time. The stocks are moving.
Every time. And they'll play it every time. So that's a good rinse and repeat. Might take months to do that. But when you start hearing that chatter, play those stocks and do it short swing trade or something.
All right, folks, we're going to let you get the dinner. The dog wants to come in, and I need a cup of coffee.
Well, thank you, everybody. I hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you next Thursday.
Thank you, folks, and
Bye, John.
I appreciate your time. I hope you appreciate ours. See ya.
Bye.